This is the Dr. Meleeka Clary Show. Dr. Meleeka has a background as a clinical psychologist, actress, director, model, and human rights activist. The Dr. Meleeka Clary Show will help move you towards bettering the quality of your life with positive psychology. So please welcome your host, Dr. Meleeka Clary.
Welcome to the Dr. Meleeka Clary Show on the Bold and Brave TV network. Thank you, my friends. God gave me another day to be able to say just what I said. I'm so glad that he gave me another day to be able to do this show, or another week. And I really appreciate that. You know, my show is all about human beings, but it's also about positive psychology. And today we have a wonderful guest. And before I mention the guest, I would love to express, today may be not a good day for you, and it may be the best day. For someone, it's not going to be a good day. But I do this because I want people to understand you're not alone. And I really want you to understand things can change. Doesn't seem like it's going to change today, but it does change. Try to keep positive people around you. Try to stay positive, and try not to be as negative. I know when you first wake up and it feels like, "Ah, I just don't feel like doing that today." But you know what? Try. I'm Christian and not everybody is Christian, but whatever belief system that you have, try to seek that. I usually pray for a better day, because yesterday's gone. It's what we have today. And I just have to say that because even me as a person, but I'm a human being, but I'm not perfect. And I have my own flaws, but I'm working in progress. And if you're trying to change something, you're able to do it. You have the power, you have the key to your own success. And with that being said, I'm just glad that I'm able to do this and share other people's testimonies. And I'm so glad that there's many guests that I've already had on the show that have expressed their, challenges, or what they've been going through or went through in their life. And I say that is because they're not perfect. So it's good that they express that. So today we have a wonderful guest. His name is Shawn Cornelius. He is a comedian. He is the I want to say he does so many things. He wears so many different hats. I mean, he's a filmmaker, he's a director, he's an actor, he's a musician. Actually, how I actually met him, he is a comedian. I think I said that, but I met him when he was doing his comedian performance. But he's a composer, and he does much more than that, just that. But he's also a good person, and he tries to help educate and enlighten many people out there within entertainment and the things that he do. And he's just a shine, really. When I say shine, like sunshine, because he's a great person, and I know him, and I had the luxury to know him because he did a lot of my music on my movie Three Corners of Deception. And the wonderful music that you've been hearing, he's responsible for the songs. So he's very good in that area. But today it's about him, and we will get a chance to hear more things that he's doing. But today I would love to get to know more about him, because like I said, I know a lot about what he have done. But let's go ahead and get started and interview Shawn Cornelius, and welcome to the Dr. Meleeka Clary Show on the Bold and Brave TV network, where we are coming live. Thank you, Shawn, for coming in and being a guest.
Oh, thank you for having me. I really appreciate it.
All right, I appreciate that. Shawn, and I'm all about positive psychology and about, we are humans before we do anything else in this world. And I know that you wear so many hats. I mean, the romantic, funny man. Looked at your website, and I just love all the different hats and you switching up. It's just wonderful to see a person who could do so many things. And you're such a shine, and I really mean that. You really do give sun to anything that I see that you touch. But one thing I do have to ask you, with all that said and done and all the things that I know of you, I would like to know, who do you identify yourself as? Because I know what I did on my research, and I know of you, I know what you do. But you know what? Sometimes people don't identify themselves as that. It's something else. So who do you identify yourself as?
Well, I'm just me. I'm just me. I, I do so many different things, and I enjoy doing that. I enjoy doing. I went to school, so I'm an entertainer, but I just enjoy doing all of it. And there's so many things that have come across my path that I've grabbed a hold of, and it's fantastic for me to do everything. So I do a lot of everything.
Okay. Well, that's so you like, and I know Star Jones has interviewed me a while back, and one thing she said is I was remind her as a Renaissance woman. So you're like a Renaissance man.
Basically, Renaissance Man is a good title, and I'll accept that easily.
Well, with that being said, we all have belief systems in our world and in our life. And I'm Christian and I believe in God. But today we struggle with mental illness. We struggle on so many different avenues. What is your belief system? Because there is things that go on in life. And where do you devote your time, and like how do you get out of a situation that just seems to be so heavy for the human being to handle? I mean, are you Christian? Do you have some type of belief system? Because many people have different ways of dealing with things. What are those? How do you deal with it?
Well, first of all, I am born again. I am a Christian, and I
Mm,
do believe in God, and I pray.
yes,
When
that's
things
right.
are not going the way that I feel that they're in a very comfortable way, I pray on it. We're not a perfect situation where there's imperfectness that happens. So praying helps a lot. I do
Yes,
music. I do music. I get
yes,
into my
I
music.
do.
I listen to music. My if I have a show, like I have shows this evening, I just throw my energies into my shows. But my belief in God has helped me through a lot of things. And so basically praying on
That's
what I
good. And you
happen.
know
Yeah.
what? I want you to elaborate on some of the techniques that you use, or if it's techniques or it's just you. But before you do continue, we're going to take a brief commercial where don't go nowhere, anybody. Come right back to the Dr. Meleeka Clary Show on the Bold and Brave TV network with Shawn Cornelius. Thank you.
What if there were a super tiny device that could diagnose the brain and is smaller than a single human hair? What if you could see inside the brain to help an epilepsy patient during surgery or to help the fight against Parkinson's disease? Dr. Patricia Broderick is proud to announce the Broderick Probe, a biomedical and electronic breakthrough. Imagine a probe to help with the understanding and potential cure of brain-related diseases. To learn more, listen live to the Easy Sense Radio Show with host Dr. Broderick, Wednesdays 7 p.m. Eastern on the Bold Brave Media Network and TuneIn Radio. And to help support the Broderick Foundation, please go to EasySense.com and learn how, with your help, we can fight these horrific brain disorders. That's EasySense.com to learn more and help support the Broderick Foundation. Author, radio show host, and coach John M. Hawkins reveals strategies to help gain perspective, build confidence, find clarity, achieve goals. John M. Hawkins' new book, Coached to Greatness, Unlock Your Full Potential with Limitless Growth, published by iUniverse. Hawkins reveals strategies to help readers accomplish more. He believes the book can coach them to greatness. Hawkins says that the best athletes get to the top of their sport with the help of coaches, mentors, and others. He shares guidance that helps readers reflect on what motivates them, rediscover and assess their core values, philosophies, and competencies, find settings that allow them to be the most productive, and track their progress towards accomplishing goals. Listen to John Hawkins' My Strategy, Saturdays, 1 p.m. Eastern on the BBM Global Network and TuneIn Radio.
Welcome back to the Dr. Meleeka Clary Show on the Bold and Brave TV network, where we're coming live. Welcome back. We are still with the romantic, funny man, Shawn, the comedian, the everything. I just have to say, welcome back, Shawn. Welcome back.
Yeah, I appreciate it. I'm glad to be here.
Before we went back and well, we left at a commercial break. You was talking about your belief system and you're born again and some of the things that you do. Can you enlighten me, please?
Yeah, I'm basically I'm an entertainer basically. So that's
Mhm.
how I relieve a lot of stress. I read books, I write books, I play music, I write music. I do stand up comedy, which is my career. Everybody has to have a career. So doing stand up comedy for just about 30 years now is
Mhm.
my career. So I basically do entertainment things and entertainment stuff. Um, and also I read my Bible on a daily. I pray daily and just try to be calm on that way. And as you said, we're imperfect, so we just basically do what we do. So I do what I do and try to get well if there's a bad day, using the situations that I know that I have that I'm pretty good at.
Okay. Well, I mean, prayer. How about if somebody's not used to doing like prayer? Is there certain ways that you utilize prayer? I mean, because I know how I pray. I mean, I might pray 3 to 4 times. Sometimes I find myself praying so many times, and it's just the way it is. Is it if somebody who just not used to prayer? Is there a type of way that you think that works better, or?
Nah, there's no specific way to pray. As long as you're
Mhm.
praying and you're talking to God and because I could be walking down the street and something's going on and I could just stop and go, you know what, Lord,
Yeah.
I need you right now. It could be at night when I pray at night, when I do my prayer for everybody at night. It could be something that's going on. So there's no one specific way of praying to the man upstairs. You just do what you do, and you're very sincere about it, and you just move forward. So you can. My dad used to tell me he used to go in the closet sometimes and close the door, and he used to pray. So you
Wow.
do whatever works for you because he can hear when you communicate with him. So it doesn't matter what you're doing, as long as
That's
you're doing it,
right.
you're sincere with it.
That's right. Yes, I totally agree with you on that. Now, let me ask you, um, you know, and my show is about positive psychology, but it's about mental illness, trying to decrease it. And many people are depressed and they go through issues. And the concern I have is that not every day is a good day. And you're a comedian. You wear so many hats. You're a filmmaker. But has it ever been a challenge in your life that your faith was even tested, or your feeling the way you felt, and you just had to get through it because today, and it probably was existing before, but suicide, people are like just committing suicide. And but I always say that's that day, they don't wait until tomorrow could get better. But have you ever experienced a challenge that made you feel like I just can't do this?
I don't know if I felt the challenge where I wanted to end it all, but I have I had an ischemic stroke back in 2001, 2021.
Wow.
Um, and basically, that was something tough for me because I've never really dealt with illness on that
Hmm.
level itself. Um, but that was 2 years ago, 2 years and 2 months ago, and basically, but going through that time, it took me through a mental, emotional, a physical thing, and basically, I needed a lot of everybody and a lot of myself to carry through and get through situations. So yeah, I did have a time, and there were times and ups and downs that I had during my career where I just felt like, wow, I wanted to stop doing stand up, but then something was sent to me from God that said you can't stop doing this because you got to get out there. Somebody needs you out there outside of you needing yourself. So I
Hmm.
continued to do my music. I continued to do my writing. I can continue to do my stand up comedy. That situation happened in February, and I don't know if I wanted to end life, but it was a depressing time. There was a depressing time that I went through because I didn't know. I was unsure of what was going on and what was happening. But through friends and family and continuing to pray, and I think it's more on the prayer and myself, and then everything else. I was able to kind of, okay, you got to get yourself going, and you got to. I just started remembering all the things that I was able to accomplish,
Hmm.
and there was a reason for certain things. There's a reason for everything. But
Hmm.
sometimes people take the reason and they make the reason. They don't even think about certain positive things, and they just want to end it all. And you can never, and unless you're in somebody's shoes, you can never say what's going on. You know what I mean? So
Yes.
me personally, no, I never got to the. I did almost get to the brink of wanting to give up, but not. I never wanted to give up. You know what I mean? You get
Yes.
depressed in that situation. You get in that mental, but you know you have so much more. And then a young lady came up to me and said, "You're a testimony." She told me I was a testimony. She told me that God wasn't finished with what I had to do, and I believed it. And that kind of struck me to get
Mhm.
myself back together and keep myself rolling and do what I can do. So I mean, I don't have great days all the time now, but I'm able to deal with them better, and I'm able to communicate better, and I'm able to just go, you know what? Okay, Lord, I'm having a rough day. You know, I'm having a hard time. Just please do something. I'll do my part if you just help me. You know what I mean?
Yes.
And I just ask for help, and I just keep it moving.
Yes. And you said some things, keep moving, but here's the thing I always look at. Well, you keep moving, but you had a stroke.
Hmm.
Is that the time that you thought maybe I shouldn't be a comedian anymore? I mean, was that what did you think? I mean, was it that you had a stroke and it was too stressful for you what you were doing, or you just didn't feel like doing it anymore because you had a stroke and you realized that life is short and anything can happen?
Well,
What made you think of that?
I'm sorry. It's a combination of all of that, you know, because you're not, the stroke really didn't have me thinking that because I really didn't think too much about comedy during that time period. You know, it was like it was a personal thing. You know, something's going on. You got to get it together. You got to focus. You have
Hmm.
an opportunity to get it together. And I just went for what can I do to get my health right? You know, it wasn't
Oh,
about,
wait.
I didn't,
You know what? When you said that, the health, I want you to elaborate. But before that, we have to take a brief commercial because I really want you to elaborate about that because that's really important. We'll be right back with the Dr. Meleeka Clary Show on the Bold and Brave TV network. Don't go nowhere. Don't go nowhere. We'll be right back.
Did you know that your beliefs create your entire reality, but it's the subconscious beliefs that do most of the creating? Belief shifter and life coach Shiraz can help you identify those limiting beliefs and eliminate them, often in a single session.
Like it was almost instant, like I had relief right away.
Creating better health, relationships, careers, and finances. Let Shiraz help you step out of safety and into awareness.
Definitely something's happening. It's like a flow inside. You know, it feels good.
Whether in person or online, Shiraz provides personal coaching, belief shifting. Visit Shiraz at energeticmagic.com or call 416-529-7429. Energetic Magic on the BBM Global Network, Tuesdays at 7 p.m. Eastern. Find your greater happiness. Be well. Be aware. Be magical.
Are you struggling to care for elderly parents or a spouse? Do you wonder if being a caregiver is making you sick? Are you worried about taking time off work to care for elderly parents and balance work, life, and caregiving? Has caregiving become exhausting and emotionally draining? Are you an aging adult who wants to remain independent, but you're not sure how? I'm Pamela D. Wilson. Join me for the Caring Generation radio show for caregivers and aging adults, Wednesday evenings, 6 Pacific, 7 Mountain, 8 Central, and 9 Eastern, where I answer these questions and share tips for managing stress, family relationships, health, well-being, and more. Podcasts and transcripts of The Caring Generation are on my website, PamelaDWilson.com, plus my caregiving library, online caregiver support programs, and programs for corporations interested in supporting working caregivers. Help, hope, and support for caregivers is here on The Caring Generation and PamelaDWilson.com.
What if there were a super tiny device that could diagnose the brain and is smaller than a single human hair? What if you could see inside the brain to help an epilepsy patient during surgery or to help the fight against Parkinson's disease? Dr. Patricia Broderick is proud to announce the Broderick Probe, a biomedical and electronic breakthrough. Imagine a probe to help with the understanding and potential cure of brain-related diseases. To learn more, listen live to the Easy Sense radio show with host Dr. Broderick, Wednesdays 7 p.m. Eastern on the Bold Brave Media Network and TuneIn Radio. And to help support the Broderick Foundation, please go to EasySense.com and learn how, with your help, we can fight these horrific brain disorders. That's EasySense.com to learn more and help support the Broderick Foundation. Author, radio show host, and coach John M. Hawkins reveals strategies to help gain perspective, build confidence, find clarity, achieve goals. John M. Hawkins' new book, Coached to Greatness, Unlock Your Full Potential with Limitless Growth, published by iUniverse. Hawkins reveals strategies to help readers accomplish more. He believes the book can coach them to greatness. Hawkins says that the best athletes get to the top of their sport with the help of coaches, mentors, and others. He shares guidance that helps readers reflect on what motivates them. Rediscover and assess their core values, philosophies, and competencies. Find settings that allow them to be the most productive and track their progress towards accomplishing goals. Listen to John Hawkins' My Strategy, Saturdays, 1 p.m. Eastern on the BBM Global Network and TuneIn Radio.
Welcome back to the Dr. Meleeka Clary Show on the Bold Brave TV Network, where we're coming live. Welcome back, my friends. We are still talking to the funny man, Shawn, the comedian that wears all the hats. We were about to talk about healthcare too, and I stopped and went on a commercial. So if you could elaborate what healthcare, and you was talking about health and how important that is.
Okay, let me look a little bit more educational.
You see what I mean?
No, basically, just what I was dealing with and how I was going through my situation, which came upon me. And it happened on a day where I was with my family. And then after the situation happened, I was feeling a little different about myself. My body was feeling different. So I took myself to the hospital. And then just breaking it down, being short, I found out that I had an ischemic stroke. And I stayed in the hospital for like 5 days. I thought I was doing proper things, but I obviously wasn't. And then you start checking in the hereditary stuff that could happen
Mm-hmm.
from
Yeah.
the past. And you just go on those types of situations. So I've been dealing with that mentally and physically, emotionally, and 2 years and a half now. Things are better. Things
Mm.
are 5% better,
Sounds
97% better.
good.
And just basically, but you do go through a lot of emotional stuff. You do go through a lot of mental things. But comedy's been there to help me. My music has been there to help me. Writing, I wrote a book about it. There are a lot of things that you have to deal. But when you get older, you have to start thinking about a lot of things, and sometimes we don't think about things. And that's basically what was going on. So it's very important. Your health is very important because if you don't have that, you don't have anything. You have to carry on and do what you have to do, and you got to make sure you're going to the doctor. You got to make sure you're taking your pills. You got to make sure you're doing everything that you need to do to take care of yourself. Because if you don't have that, you have nothing. And so that's a lot of stuff that was happening, that was going on. And um, so far so good. And again, praying to me and talking to God and trying to find
Mm-hmm.
out issues that are happening. I just put it to the scenario. Comedy wise, I threw some stuff in and I talk about it. And now I can laugh a little bit about some things, but at certain points I wasn't laughing too much. But
Mm-hmm.
going through scenarios and my music, and because doing music for your film, which
Mm-hmm.
I see doing so great, and I'm so happy and so proud to be a
Thank
part of the
you.
project. Um, you're welcome. And it's basically just carrying on doing what you were doing or what you can do and what you're capable of doing. And that's what I've done. I basically just whatever I'm capable of doing, and I ask God, and I whatever I can see, I try to pray every day. I have Bible studies once a week, and I have my prayer line once a week, and church on Sundays, and do things. But it's not just because I want to do right now, because I thought I was doing right before, you know.
Okay.
So,
Hmm.
say prior to, but things happen, and if you're realizing things happen for a reason, maybe the reason was for me to figure out some stuff and help other people, and that's what I've been really trying to do when I motivational speak. My inspirations. I do a show on Wednesdays on Bronx on I'm sorry, I forgot but I'll remember. But I do a radio show called No More Chains, and that means breaking
Mhm.
the chain of things and being motivational and inspiration, and an inspirational
Wow.
piece.
Hmm.
So it's things that you can do. You don't overwhelm yourself. A lot of us, we're so used to overwhelming because we want to achieve. And as an African American male, you do those
Hmm.
kind of things anyway, because you want to be successful in something. You should want to, and sometimes we do too much and we're not thinking about ourselves. So I was shown that I need to think about myself. I need to take care of myself a little better, because regardless of what you're thinking, maybe not. Maybe you're not doing the right thing. So you have to figure out what you're not doing, and you do the proper thing, and uh, and that's what I've been doing.
Wow. Oh, okay. That's good. Now wait a minute. What is the self-care things that you are doing? And I mean, I say that because, or I ask that because, many people don't know what to do sometimes. So what is some great self-care things that you are doing? Because now that you had a stroke and like you said you thought you were doing some other things, but did it change that you're doing something different now and this should be more important to do? And maybe that will be a preventative to a stroke or anything that will cause a negative to the health breakdown. Oh,
Well,
you know what? You know what? Before you answer that question, we are going to take, because I know I want to hear a little bit. I want people to hear that. We are going to take a brief commercial and we will be right back with the Dr. Meleeka Clary Show on the Bold and Brave TV network with Shawn, the comedian, and the everything. Right back.
What if there were a super tiny device that could diagnose the brain and is smaller than a single human hair? What if you could see inside the brain to help an epilepsy patient during surgery or to help the fight against Parkinson's disease? Dr. Patricia Broderick is proud to announce the Broderick Probe, a biomedical and electronic breakthrough. Imagine a probe to help with the understanding and potential cure of brain-related diseases. To learn more, listen live to the Easy Sense radio show with host Dr. Broderick, Wednesdays 7 p.m. Eastern on the Bold Brave Media Network and TuneIn Radio. And to help support the Broderick Foundation, please go to EasySense.com and learn how, with your help, we can fight these horrific brain disorders. That's EasySense.com to learn more and help support the Broderick Foundation. Author, radio show host, and coach John M. Hawkins reveals strategies to help gain perspective, build confidence, find clarity, achieve goals. John M. Hawkins' new book, Coached to Greatness, Unlock Your Full Potential with Limitless Growth, published by iUniverse. Hawkins reveals strategies to help readers accomplish more. He believes the book can coach them to greatness. Hawkins says that the best athletes get to the top of their sport with the help of coaches, mentors, and others. He shares guidance that helps readers reflect on what motivates them. We discover and assess their core values, philosophies, and competencies, find settings that allow them to be the most productive, and track their progress towards accomplishing goals. Listen to John Hawkins' My Strategy, Saturdays, 1 p.m. Eastern on the BBM Global Network and TuneIn Radio.
Welcome back, my friends, to the Dr. Meleeka Clary Show on the Bold and Brave TV network, where we're coming live. We are still with Mr. Funny Man, Shawn, the comedian, the everything. And I say everything because he literally does everything. But before we left on commercial, he was enlightening us and explaining some helpful tips on self-care. because even though you had a bad experience too, that is still reality. But and so what is the self-care things that you do that we can, people, because there's millions of people are watching us, and they may say, okay, well, what is some good things to do, and they don't know how to do those things. So what is the things that you do?
I think everybody should learn how to rest better. Let your body get rest. Let your body tell you when you need rest. When you need rest, you need rest. You can't force yourself to overdo it. Um, thought you might think that you're doing better, but you might not be for your body. So you have to rest better. You have to eat better. And there's another thing you might think you're doing properly, but you got to get the right food and you got sugar
Oh,
and all
that.
thing. I thought I was doing proper and found out that maybe I wasn't. So now there's other foods that I eat and certain
Oh,
things I
wow.
don't eat to keep things going and you gotta roll on that level. I think for me personally, a lot of mental stimulation is good for me. Mental stimulation, reading more of my spiritual helps me out. Outside of doing my regular film, my comedy, and I jump around, but I read the Bible more.
Oh,
I read
yes, I love it.
book uh, called prayers, and there's prayers that you can read, and there's other things that you can. I just engulf myself in the spiritual, so that even though if I feel bad on certain days, I know that it's just a second, and all I need to do is go to a book and just read certain situations that happen, and then continue to believe and know that God is there for me. And I got to keep going and got to keep moving, because outside of me knowing and doing for myself, I'm doing for somebody else. Like there might be somebody that might see this, and I don't know who might see this, and it may help.
Yes,
So
that's
I
right.
have to continue to do, because this is helping me, but it's also going to help somebody else on that level. Um, so, and whatever the next thing is, like whatever you're doing, you continue to try to elevate yourself in it. Like me being a stand up comic, I still feel like I have to elevate myself and do the best I can
Hmm.
to become something that I'm not. And I know I'm ahead of the game, but I'm still behind certain points. So I still do jokes. I still write my jokes. I still do my things,
Yeah.
and just kind of elevate whatever craft or whatever situation you're in. You can relax a little. And I said rest early, but relaxing and resting is two different things. I'll turn on some music and sit back,
Hmm.
and I'll kick back and just listen to some music, whether it's gospel music or instrumental music or whatever type of music it is that I want to elevate myself. I'll do. So a lot of it is just kind of listening to your body and feeling what your body's telling you. A lot of people don't do that. So
Yes.
those are the main things that I do nowadays, that I probably didn't do before. I was so used to just running around being in the midst of stuff, but now it's just like you got to take your time. And I really do sometimes. I
Right.
over, but you can't overthink things. You just got
That's
to let
right.
the way they are, and do. And this is very, like today, this is very helpful for me, because I can sit back and just think about some of the things I'm saying. Because sometimes it's hard for me. I can't talk about certain people. Like I
Hmm.
can talk so well to you, and you can ask me so many questions. I can communicate. But when I sit by myself, or I don't feel like I'm on that level. But when I sit back and watch things, and I hear what I have to say, it's easier. It's easier to put in place and better to put in place. So, um, you basically have to do that and be in tune with yourself a little bit more, than you might be used to. You got to
Mm.
hear the signs, and know what's going on with yourself mentally, physically, and emotionally. Physically, I exercise. I ride my
Oh,
bicycle.
yes, I was going to ask that question. And I was going to ask about your bike because I see you and it's always a bike. And I'm like, I'm going to ask about the bike.
Yes, I ride my bike every day I can. That's good weather, good enough. Like right now, it's beautiful weather outside, and I'll get on my bike and ride 5 miles to 10 miles. 12 miles. The other day, I rode 12 miles because it was just riding, and the weather was good. The people were nice. The atmosphere was good. So I exercise that way, and I do physical therapy and keep myself going on that level. But I do bike ride. I've enjoyed bike riding.
I love
You
it.
have to exercise your body. You got to do right, and I'm able to. My mind is able to go and escape when I'm riding as well. So I think it's an overall help for everything. My body's getting well, my mind is getting well, everything's getting well on that bike ride, because I got to keep an eye on the streets of what's happening, but I also get a chance to just kind of reflect and let things go. And then my day after I bike ride and then take my shower, if I got to go do my show, I go do my show. If I don't, I'm able to relax or do something else or be creative.
Wow. No, thank you for sharing all that because that's so important. Self care is so important, and people don't understand. They always say, like, when you have people that go to work every day, or they do this. Oh, I'll take care. I'm coughing, but I'll take care of it later. I don't think people understand that if you don't take care of your health, you have nothing. You
Right.
can't do anything in this world. And from you had a stroke. And I know by having that feeling, I mean, at least of what you're explaining, you was feeling like helpless. Like, whoa. I mean,
Yeah.
we're stopping for you.
Yeah. I mean, not realizing because I know mine was I can't compare myself to anybody else because I know what other people are going through. I'm in a couple of groups
Hmm.
and I know what they have experienced, and I know some of them are getting themselves back together. Some are
Hmm.
together. I can only go on my experience and my understanding of things and know what the doctors told me and know what I need to do. Um, yeah, it was a shock. Of course, it was a shock.
Hmm.
Um,
Yes.
I feel like given the opportunity to do. But there's always I always remember I feel a little bit of a numbness, just a little bit of a numbness. That's why I say I'm 95% over my lip, and I wasn't feeling it prior to. So I think
Wow.
it was brought on by the stroke, and it's very subtle, but it's enough to remind me that something happened. And
Yeah.
I gotta remember that, and I got to keep moving, and I got to do the proper things that I'm supposed to do. So that's something that I never expected. I've heard about it, obviously, and I know of people who've had them, but I never had to experience it until a couple of years ago.
Wow.
But moving forward, I've just decided that I need to just move forward and do better and do what I can to keep myself together. And that's what my motivational inspiration was. It was to write the book, talk about it, tell people what's going on, tell people what's happening, and maybe guys can do a little bit better for themselves. Maybe people can do a little bit better.
That would be great. I want to hear about the book too. And, I'm glad that you're doing better. Thank you for
Thank
sharing. And on that note, we are going to take a brief commercial and we will be right back with the Dr. Meleeka Clary show on the Bold and Brave TV network. Do not go nowhere, friends. We'll be right back.
What if there were a super tiny device that could diagnose the brain and is smaller than a single human hair? What if you could see inside the brain to help an epilepsy patient during surgery or to help the fight against Parkinson's disease? Dr. Patricia Broderick is proud to announce the Broderick Probe, a biomedical and electronic breakthrough. Imagine a probe to help with the understanding and potential cure of brain-related diseases. To learn more, listen live to the Easy Sense radio show with host Dr. Broderick, Wednesdays 7 p.m. Eastern on the Bold Brave Media Network and TuneIn Radio. And to help support the Broderick Foundation, please go to EasySense.com and learn how, with your help, we can fight these horrific brain disorders. That's EasySense.com to learn more and help support the Broderick Foundation. Author, radio show host, and coach John M. Hawkins reveals strategies to help gain perspective, build confidence, find clarity, achieve goals. John M. Hawkins' new book, Coached to Greatness, Unlock Your Full Potential with Limitless Growth, published by iUniverse. Hawkins reveals strategies to help readers accomplish more. He believes the book can coach them to greatness. Hawkins says that the best athletes get to the top of their sport with the help of coaches, mentors, and others. He shares guidance that helps readers reflect on what motivates them. Rediscover and assess their core values, philosophies, and competencies. Find settings that allow them to be the most productive and track their progress towards accomplishing goals. Listen to John Hawkins' My Strategy, Saturdays, 1 p.m. Eastern on the BBN Global Network and TuneIn Radio.
Welcome back to the Dr. Meleeka Clary show on the Bold and Brave TV network. Thank you, my friends, for coming back. We are still with the funny man, Shawn, the comedian, the everything. I have to say that everything because you wear so many hats. I love your website. I just love that. Mm. And I clip like that because every time he does that, you gotta check out his website. And we were mentioning that he changes a hat, and it's like magic. So, with that being said, before we left, we were talking about we was finished up actually about your stroke, but you mentioned that you have a book and you might even have a couple of books out there. Why don't you let me know a little bit about that?
Well, my first book I wrote prior to the stroke was this book here, Expressions of Love and Romance, uh, from the Romantic Funny Man, which is me.
Wow.
Uh,
Mm-hmm.
this book is like a self book. It's got so much about my life from being a little kid, learning about love and learning about romance and learning about
Wow.
sex and learning about all things. So there's poetry in here, there's music stuff in here, there's funny stories, there's jokes, there's the beginning of my comedy career, and there's stories about life. So it's a pretty good read. I read it again the other day. So it's not
Now,
just because I wrote it.
mm-hmm. It sounds really good. Where can we get the book? Where can we buy the book?
You can go to my website, which is ShawnCorneliusEntertainment.com, and pick this up. You can directly connect with me at Shawn Pook Cornelius
Okay.
email, which is my Gmail account, ShawnPookCornelius@gmail.com, and purchase this book. And also, well, my other book too. You can go and get the ebook on BarnesandNobles.com,
Mm-hmm.
and the book is there. So all you have to do is connect, and you're able to go. But I would, you can go to my website, but email me, and this way it could come to you sooner than going through those situations. I can put them right in the mail and put it out. So this one is Expressions of Love and Romance from the Romantic Funny Man book. I also have
Okay. Good.
my
And
story. I'm sorry.
what's this one? What
Yeah,
is it
this
called? Oh, wait a minute. I see it. My stroke story.
My Stroke Story by
Wow.
Cornelius. Yeah, and this basically was the book that was inspired by the young lady who said you're a testimony, and I still don't remember her name, but it was at the 2022 SITA Awards where I won awards for my stroke video, which is on YouTube.
Wow.
Yeah, and it's at Shawn Cornelius Entertainer, Shawn Cornelius Entertainer on YouTube, and you can go see all of the things that I've done. And so I wrote the book. There's motivational, inspirational quotes in here. Some of my friends sent me some inspirational things in this book, and I tell my story about being in a hospital 5 days. Um, I just express and just tell it's detail for detail. And then I decided to write the quotes. And then there's pictures in it. For you people that like pictures, there's pictures. So you
I
guys can
love
look at
pictures.
the pictures. And then at the very end, which I always do, is a picture of my mom and dad, and God bless
Oh,
their
wow.
souls. And I put them in there because they're inspiration. They're the reason that I'm here. So that book is also available on all the outlets that I told you about the other book. So I was inspired to write this book by the young lady who said you're an inspiration. You're a testimony, and I wrote it, and it's been helpful. I've sold over almost 100 books already this year, and it's been people who have read it and said it's a very good story. And I didn't write it just for it to be a good story. I wrote it because I needed to write it. But there are inspirational things in here. There are photos in here of my journey, and then there are inspirational quotes from people, my friends and my family,
Hmm.
who uh, who decided to go on this journey with me.
Oh, okay. It sounds like a very clear and concise testimonies too. That people could learn from self-help book too.
Yeah, it's been, and I do tell people, listen, I just was told how to take care of myself, so I put in there how people can take care of themselves, and it's the basics. It's not just about me; it's about taking care of your body, and taking care of your mind, and taking care of your spirit. But there's also inspirations from other people, and I've been told that the book has helped family members who have had family members who have had strokes and are trying to deal because there's motivational inspirations in there, and it's basically me trying to help as well, um, of things, and maybe somebody who's not doing the proper thing can start doing the proper thing, or someone who's going through, or whose energy is low, or whose mental is low, they can get it together, and maybe the book can be helpful. I just put those words out there and asked my friends to write and inspire and help, and they did. So if that's basically what it does and it helps one person, which I know it's
There you
helped
go.
more than one, then I'm good. Take my words like I take other people's situations and I look at other people who have helped me who don't even know they've helped me. You know,
Yes. Oh, that's just amazing. And I'm glad you was able to write in such a way that sharing is caring and explained your testimony, your challenges. And I hope people will pick up that book. I really do, because I think what you had to say, it will help. It's helping me. I mean, there's some things I did not know, and I'm just like, oh wow. Now, one thing I do have to say, and we've met on a very interesting note. When I met you, you're a comedian, of course. And I have to say this to people because some people don't understand where I'm coming from. Spike Lee was one of my mentors for my master, was it filmmaking master and master class? That's what it was. And Ron Howard. And he said to me, always take your chance. You never know what that chance is. And when, I heard you and you're being a comedian, I didn't know you sing. I didn't know you made music. I didn't know none of that stuff about you. I just know I was making a movie and I want maybe this guy, he could do a cameo or something. I think something I was talking to you about that. And I was like, I don't know. I don't know what's going on, but I want to ask this guy. Let me get his contact information. And in New York, I'm sitting here waiting till everybody leave, whatever. And I talked to this gentleman, did not know several years ago, didn't know that I was going to meet a gold mine that can help in so many areas. I did not know that. Honestly, I'm so blessed that I met you and I was able to reach out and say, hey, what is your name? And can I use you for something? Because I'm doing this. If you recall, I didn't know about music. You didn't sing up there. You was just
no,
making us laugh.
yeah, yeah.
But before you answer anything else, because there's some things I'm going to ask you also about the movie, about other stuff, we are going to take a brief commercial and we will be right back with the Dr. Meleeka Clary Show on the Bold and Brave TV network. Don't go nowhere. We still got the funny man, Shawn. Don't go nowhere.
What if there were a super tiny device that could diagnose the brain and is smaller than a single human hair? What if you could see inside the brain to help an epilepsy patient during surgery or to help the fight against Parkinson's disease? Dr. Patricia Broderick is proud to announce the Broderick Probe, a biomedical and electronic breakthrough. Imagine a probe to help with the understanding and potential cure of brain-related diseases. To learn more, listen live to the Easy Sense radio show with host Dr. Broderick, Wednesdays 7 p.m. Eastern on the Bold Brave Media Network and TuneIn Radio. And to help support the Broderick Foundation, please go to EasySense.com and learn how, with your help, we can fight these horrific brain disorders. That's EasySense.com to learn more and help support the Broderick Foundation. Author, radio show host, and coach John M. Hawkins reveals strategies to help gain perspective, build confidence, find clarity, achieve goals. John M. Hawkins' new book, Coached to Greatness, Unlock Your Full Potential with Limitless Growth, published by iUniverse. Hawkins reveals strategies to help readers accomplish more. He believes the book can coach them to greatness. Hawkins says that the best athletes get to the top of their sport with the help of coaches, mentors, and others. He shares guidance that helps readers reflect on what motivates them. We discover and assess their core values, philosophies, and competencies, find settings that allow them to be the most productive, and track their progress towards accomplishing goals. Listen to John Hawkins' My Strategy, Saturdays, 1 p.m. Eastern on the BBM Global Network and TuneIn Radio. Did you know that your beliefs create your entire reality, but it's the subconscious beliefs that do most of the creating? Belief shifter and life coach Shiraz can help you identify those limiting beliefs and eliminate them, often in a single session.
Like, it was almost instant. Like, I had relief right away.
Creating better health, relationships, careers, and finances. Let Shiraz help you step out of safety and into awareness.
Definitely something's happening. It's like a flow inside. It feels good.
Whether in person or online, Shiraz provides personal coaching, belief shifting. Visit Shiraz at energeticmagic.com or call 416-529-7429. Energetic Magic on the BBM Global Network, Tuesdays at 7 p.m. Eastern. Find your greater happiness. Be well. Be aware. Be magical.
Are you struggling to care for elderly parents or a spouse? Do you wonder if being a caregiver is making you sick? Are you worried about taking time off work to care for elderly parents and balance work, life, and caregiving? Has caregiving become exhausting and emotionally draining? Are you an aging adult who wants to remain independent, but you're not sure how? I'm Pamela D. Wilson. Join me for the Caring Generation radio show for caregivers and aging adults, Wednesday evenings, 6 Pacific, 7 Mountain, 8 Central, and 9 Eastern, where I answer these questions and share tips for managing stress, family relationships, health, well-being, and more. Podcasts and transcripts of the Caring Generation are on my website, PamelaDWilson.com, plus my caregiving library, online caregiver support programs, and programs for corporations interested in supporting working caregivers. Help, hope, and support for caregivers is here on the Caring Generation and PamelaDWilson.com.
Welcome back to the Dr. Meleeka Clary Show on the Bold and Brave TV network, where we're coming live. We are still with Shawn, the comedian. Oh, thank you, Shawn, for coming right back. We are today. It's just been amazing. Thank you for sharing all your testimonies and challenges and things. Before we go, and I have to say this, all the music on Three Corners Deception, not all of it, but some of that music that you wrote has just been wonderful. And I just have to say thank you, because I always highlight a lot of the music. And we did a song together, a duet, Love at First Sight. You remember that one, huh?
Yes, I do. I
And that was
totally do.
just a one. Yes. And that was such a wonderful experience. My daughter wrote it and he wrote it, and I just helped sing. And like I said, I sing a little bit, but anyway, it was fun. Maybe one day we'll do a video. You never know, right? So,
Never know.
and I thought about that too. So I have to talk to you about that. And I mean, for Love at First Sight, I think it would be a wonderful. A lot of people said they love the song. I mean, they really do. I get so much feedback about that song. It's good, like a marriage song, like you get married. So, and I just have to say that it's just wonderful. But Three Corners of Deception is where Shawn, a lot of music that he has wrote for the movie, Shawn has wrote, and it's just been wonderful. The composing music that you offered. How do they find you? You did actually, you know what? You already gave some of your information, the website and everything like that. So at this moment, because we're about to go off the air, I am so pleased that you was a guest on the Dr. Meleeka Clary Show on the Bold and Brave TV network. Thank you so much for being my guest. And I'm just going to introduce all the stuff or information that people could find me. Thank you, Shawn. It was such a pleasure.
You're welcome. Thank you for having me. It's been a pleasure. I'm glad we were able to connect and talk. We talk outside this, but it's been great. So thank you very much. And thank you to your audience for watching and opening their hearts to have me.
All right. Thank you for tuning in to the Dr. Meleeka Clary Show on the Bold and Brave TV network. If no one said I love you today, I love you. And please take care of yourself, and God bless you all. And tune in to the Dr. Meleeka Clary Show, and you can find me everywhere. Google me. Thank you, guys.
You've been watching the Dr. Meleeka Clary Show. Tune in next week as Dr. Meleeka will help you shift towards a better life. But this show doesn't stop there. She'll provide helpful tips regarding surviving the entertainment industry and the judicial system with practical information. Thursday, 2 p.m. Eastern, here on the Bold Brave TV network.